welcome back to my channel. So for this week's video, I wasn't sure what to film, so I put some feelers out there on Instagram and someone suggested I do a video kind of showing my progression as far as journaling goes. So here we are. It was very hard to narrow down what journals to show because there are so many. I chose the best representative of my journaling, I think, from when I started to seriously commit to journaling and use it as a creative outlet to now. The only thing that makes it a little bit hard is that I like to dabble in many different types of journaling. I like to scrapbook journal and junk journal and art journal and just writing out thoughts and feelings journaling. So I try to keep it to just the creative type of journaling. I think I went as far back as 2017. I will move these out and start with the oldest one. This is one of the first journals that I ever attempted to do a creative type journaling, and I didn't even finish it all. So just some writing, and this is from 2017. So I tried to do some watercolor in here. I think that these pages were just very dark for me, but this is my first attempt at collaging as a form of creative journaling. I wasn't feeling this journal, I don't think. So there isn't a lot to show in here. I kept some mail stuff in here. This was another journal spread. I have this. But that's it. That was it for 2017. I don't think that I was committed to journaling regularly back then because a lot of my creative time was used towards making journals, and they take a lot of time, so my journaling time was limited back then. Then we have this one. This was a hardcover and it's super huge. I think this is a 3.5 inch spine, and even with that size of a spine, this thing is just ready to burst. It is heavy. So this was something that I made for myself. To be honest, I don't even know what year. 2019? End of 2018 into 2019. So this spanned the whole year. This was a mix of many things. It was scrapbook, it was memory keeping, it was journaling. So I got more into journaling about moon phases and including more spiritual type stuff in here. I had pictures in here. So this was really a mix of a lot of different things. It's fun looking through here because you forget all the things that you used to sort of write about. So I think because I had that incentive to journal more frequently, I think I was able to keep up with this, and this sort of was the jumping off point to how I creative journal now. It's changed quite a bit because I don't really write as much, because right after I was done with this, I was kind of lost as to, do I make another one of these? And then I have these giant journals that I don't know what to do with later on. But around this time, the Artist's Way book came into my life, and I started to do morning pages, and I've kept up with morning pages since then, so it's been 4 years. So writing in my journal wasn't as important because I was already capturing that in a space dedicated to just writing. I think from here forwards, it's a little bit more, the journaling is a bit more visual than actual writing part. Then I attempted to do another hardcover, I think because this was a pre-made cover, and one of my goals has been now for many years is to use up the journals that I've bought from other people. I've bought a lot of junk journals, and the journal is very plain, so I just kind of personalized it with this picture. This is like packaging and some ribbon. I think the spine is 2 inches. It's also very thick, not quite as thick as the other one, but still quite thick. And I struggled with this format again. I wasn't really feeling it. As you can see, I was still like scrapbooking. I think this was like 2020 to 2021. I know this took me like a really long time to fill up, and my other issue is that I don't keep dates on anything. Like, I'm really bad at like writing dates. I should, but I'm pretty sure this was 2020 to 2021, or like end of 2019, because I have the Halloween party pamphlet here, and that was the last one that we went to. It was in 2019, and then they closed down or canceled the ones for 2020. But yeah, 21. So this spanned a long time. I like the spreads that I did on here. It's very different. It's a lot of like vintage type ephemera and very different from what I do now. But I do enjoy collaging like this. It's very relaxing. This is a really nice one. And actually here is where I start to like veer off to another style, which was more playful and colorful, and kind of pushing me further out of like the vintage style. Yeah, this took a long time, almost 2 years, almost. This one is from 2022, I believe, because I have the year of the tiger. Yeah, Lunar New Year. So I believe the tiger was last year, unless I'm messing up my dates again, which is possible because I don't write dates on anything. But I did this one here on YouTube, and I believe this video is still up. Again, I don't write dates on anything, which I just don't understand. I'm gonna have to really try harder. But yeah, this is really fun. Again, we're still using some vintage type things, but also moving into more colorful things. And I think this journal, you see the most change out of all of them. So I start off very vintagey, and then you're gonna see like more color, more playfulness come into play here. You know, some pages are left blank. If I like the image, I would just leave it blank. I was like, I'm not going to limit myself in that way to feel like I have to, well, not limit myself, but pressure myself to feel like I have to cover every inch. Still kind of a mix of both. That's pretty much it. I didn't feel, again, the pressure to cover every single page. If it got too big, which this one did, I then just stopped working in it. That's what I usually do. And I'm gonna take these both out at the same time because these were completed in the same year. So the most journaling I've done like consistently, and the most amount of journals I've completed from beginning to end was in 2022. And since then I've been able to kind of keep it up because I found a connection creatively with this format. So I still use a traveler's notebook. I'm taking a break this month because I want to try something else, which I'm on the fence about, but I like a catch-all place, and I don't necessarily want that to be in with my creative journaling because the bulk hinders me from being able to like create the way I want to. So I have a bulk journal for pictures and packaging, and so that's what the traveler's notebook has been, sort of like memory keeping, junk keeping, that kind of stuff. So this has been really fun, and I just showed my latest traveler's notebook. I'll link it up here, which is the last one before I decided to take a break. So I love these. I love traveler's notebooks. I make my own. They're super fun. You can change the paper if you want. I highly recommend. Then I started working in like this square journal, and I think I have a full flip of this. Yeah, I will link that as well up here. So after I was done with the previous journal that you saw, not this one, the one before that, I really craved a place where I could express myself visually and process emotion and feelings and just thoughts in a non-verbal manner. So this is where this one comes in, and this is the one that I think I love the most out of all of them, just because it's the first time using like this square size. This is all creative. There's some writing, and actually there is another journal that I'm missing that I'll need to find. There was another journal in between the previous one and this one, but this is where I started to play with glitter gel, which was something I learned from Megan in the Moon. She had like her favorite supplies and she had glitter gel on there, and I was like, I need to go find that immediately, and I've never looked back. It's like changed everything. But I really wish I could have found that other journal though, because that kind of shows the transition. But I think I do have a flip through of that, so I'll link it here, the in-between between this one and this one. But yeah, here I really just didn't have any rules. If I wanted to put stickers, I put stickers. I did a full flip through of this, but as you can see, there's minimal writing. It's more just creative expression visually. So yeah, I would say that from this moment forward, my journaling has been pretty consistent in this style. And I can show you my latest creative journal. So now I've added a third thing in here in the mix, which is probably why I need a break from this, from the TN, but I'm doing daily Hobonichi journaling, which I share on my Patreon, but I'll do like a any flip here. This is my current art journal. As you can see, still colorful and bright. Even more so probably than one of these. It's pretty comparable. So I'm working slowly in this one. I don't necessarily put junk in here, which is why I still had the traveler's notebook. This is more like my daily journal with some pictures. I have a lot of Patreon downloads from Pocket Journal Pam and James L. Burke. I have like some of my own in here. These are all my own. But yeah, it's watercolor and writing and some digitals, but I don't feel the need as much to like scrapbook journal, because I'm kind of doing that here, except I'm not trying to bulk it up too much, so I'm limiting it to watercoloring, writing, and a few digitals. So I do want an in-between, so an in-between these two for junk and packaging that I like, and random quotes and things that I find lying in a drawer that I don't know what to do with, and that's what this was. But I want to change it up, so I haven't decided what I want to do. Do I want to do like a Hobonichi type thing, or do I want to make my own journal, and if so, what size? So stay tuned for that. That's what I'm working towards. So I hope this wasn't too long and rambly, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you my progression through journaling, because you don't really realize it, and then you sit down and you look at stuff and you're like, oh yeah, like that was a total 180. But the basics are still there. I think the basics for me are, I still like texture, and I still like different shapes and sizes, and I like to kind of mix things together that don't necessarily fit, that's still there, but the color landscape has changed where it was more dark academia and now it's like Care Bear City. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.